Hey gang, welcome back to our channel. I'm Paul with Stud Pack, and once again, I'm standing in my mom's shower, but this time it is 100% done. Our last video was on the trim kit installation, and we really took a deep dive into that because there's so many details. But I told Jordan, I said, look man, we better show everybody some finished shots of this thing, or we're gonna start losing some subs. You got some footage you wanna show them?
I think I got some shots.
All right, let's roll it. We hope you enjoyed all those close-up shots. Now I want to explain a few of the details. Let's start at the top and work our way down to the floor. You see this post right here? Of course they tiled the whole thing, so there was no drywall patching or painting on this whole project, which I loved. And this piece of tile they put vertically, and it saved them a grout joint up there. I think it looks a lot cleaner. And you notice in some of the close-up shots, they also tile the top of the wall. So that's pretty cool right there also. Schluter Niche trim on all the edges. We used 8 pieces in this whole project. And these grab bars. So these are 1.25 inch diameter, a little smaller than the standard 1.5 inch because my mom's hands are small, and they're knurled so she can get a good grip. Center line of the grab bars, 33 inches above the floor. Got a 2-footer, a 4-footer, and then a 2-footer here vertically to assist as she's getting in and out of the shower. Now let's come up here and talk about this accent strip. When we made our cut originally in the demo video at the top of the old tile, we cut right through the drywall and wallpaper at the top of the tile, which was about right here. Now when we put 7 courses of tile, it didn't cover all that. So when Jordan and I were in the attic, we found a box of these from the original job 20 years ago when they did the vanity. And they worked perfectly to run that accent band and lift this tile a little higher, and now look what a clean detail we have at the top. So that was a great find. Doesn't always happen like that, right? And remember also, we found the exact same tile. And what we did, we removed a few of these, took our Curdy membrane, extended it onto the existing floor, and then ran new floor tile into the shower. So this is all waterproof right there. So that's a great detail. We were kind of struggling with how we were going to figure that one out. Now we're getting a lot of comments on the previous video. What the heck, Stud Pack? You went from framing to a finished shower and you didn't even show us the tile work. Well, remember we said we were going to have a tile subcontractor in here because we need to get this thing done fast. But don't worry, gang. Jordan and I have another shower we're going to build. We're starting today and it doesn't even exist yet. We're going to show you step by step, A to Z, every detail, and in fact, I have all the material in the truck. Let's hop in there and take a ride over to our next project. All right, gang, back here at our main project, and I am standing in our future corner shower, and we're going to show you step by step how to take this blank canvas from studs and a concrete floor to a beautiful tiled shower with glass panels and a glass door. Let's get started. All right, as much as I want to go out to the truck and unload that backer board and start throwing it up on the walls, there's an important step we have to do first. What is it? It's blocking. If you guessed that, good job, gang. Now in this shower, we need blocking right here. We're gonna have a glass door, and those glass doors come with hinges. So I'm gonna put blocking all in between these 2 studs right here. I'm also gonna put in some grab bar blocking, very important. And in your shower, you may need blocking for a shower bar with the adjustable arm, just like we put in at my mom's. So I say we measure this gap right here. I know it's not parallel, it's gonna be a tapered cut, always, right? So it's time to throw on my tool bags, measure this opening, head out to the saw, and start cutting some blocking. All right, cool. We saved this 2x10 out of our demo. Could not throw that one in the dumpster. This thing was probably worth, what, $80? And we're using it for blocking. Now this is a tapered cut, 3.5 here, 3 3/4 at the other end. I connected the dots and I'm gonna freehand it on my table saw. Been doing it my whole life. Do not try this at home. All right, gang, here's our tapered piece we cut outside. It's gonna go right here for our blocking for our door hinges. And the drop from this is actually right here. We'll make good use of it, and that's gonna be for a vertical grab bar for future use. We're just gonna put a toe nail in the bottom, a toe screw into the sill plate, screw it into this guy, and then install this blocking. May get some comments that it's not attached here on the top, but we're gonna have a screw in the top on the left side, and it's gonna be fine. By the time we get the backer board in here, all that tile, this thing's gonna be solid as a rock. So let me grab the screw gun, put some screws through here, secure this one, then put in our tapered piece for the door, and then we'll add some grab bar blocking. All right, all our blocking is up. You can see I've got 48 inches with an up arrow. That means this line is 48 inches from my ceiling. We'll take a picture of that. Boom. I've already taken a picture of that side already. Now I have it for my records, and I can send that to the owner for their future records. Now, before we start putting up backer board, one more critical step that's going to determine the success of your project, and that is your framing plumb and level and all that. So we're going to put our level up here. We've actually already done this, and look at that. That is very unusual. That is perfect. Now, they're not so level this way, but they are level, or they are plumb in the way that we need it, right? We checked it all the way around, we're good. And the other thing I want to check is, are they in plane? And what that means is, if I put the level across them, do I get any rocking? And again, we came out like awesome on this one. There is no rocking, check that out. We are ready for backer board. Now, if it's not plumb, there are several great videos on how to get it plumb, and there are several methods. You can wet shim your backer board. You can use cardboard shims. On the West Coast, they sell them in the drywall stores. Nobody here's heard of them. So we actually did a video like, what, a year and a half ago, Jordan? And we were doing a bathtub, and the walls were way out of plumb. So we used our table saw and cut like 6-foot long custom tapered wooden shims, put them on there, and it made for a perfectly smooth plumb wall. If you want to, make sure you go back and check out that video. It's awesome.
You sure you want to send them all the way back in time to old stud pack?
Yeah, I love our old stuff, man.
That's all that matters, buddy.
All right. There are a lot of great videos online about plumbing a wall before you tile. Sal has a bunch. Landberg Tile TV, he's awesome. He's on the West Coast. He knows what he's doing. But here in Louisiana, we are ready to start hanging backer board. We actually have it all staged in the master bedroom. Let's go check it out. All right, here's our backer board, gang. We got 5 sheets, and this is Triton backer board by MyTech. I went to ProSource this morning to get all the material for this shower. They had a little display on the counter about all of Triton's products. I was asking the guy behind the counter about it, and they love this stuff. It's about $3 more per sheet than cement board. This is about $10 a sheet. What do you get for that $3 extra? You get a lot. The first thing you get is a tremendous weight savings, and you're going to save your back. Check this out. I can hold that up with one hand.
Wow.
Try that with cement board. The second thing you get for that extra $3 is huge. This is not crystalline silica based. That's the stuff that's dangerous for your lungs, right? All that stuff in cement and the mortar that gets in the air and you breathe it in. That's why you wear a respirator or use a vacuum to suck it up. This is magnesium based.
How do you know that it's magnesium based? You have like a nerdy little tester in that truck or something?
Don't make fun of my truck, dude. I love that truck. Actually, we were trying to find installation instructions on this online. One side is super smooth. It's like somebody sanded it with 400 grit. The other side is a little bit rough. Instinctively, I would put the rough side out, right? You get more bite in the rough side with the Thinset. But we want to make sure we put it up right, so we went online and we're trying to find information online. Installation instructions, we couldn't really find anything. So Jordan said, I've had enough of this, I'm just going to call them. And I said, well, good luck with calling them. And in about 20 seconds, he was on the phone with their receptionist. Her name was Sarah. She was unbelievable, and she forwarded us on to Pete and Mike. They were a wealth of knowledge. Check this out.
Have you used us before? Have you purchased with us before?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And what state are you in?
Louisiana.
Or what Louisiana? Okay. Let me get you over to a salesperson in that area, and they can go over everything with you.
Awesome. Great. Thank
Okay.
you.
This is Mike.
Hey Mike, my name's Paul. I have a question about your backer board installation, if you got a minute.
You have a question about our backer board installation?
Yeah, we have a YouTube channel. We have the backer board. I've never used it before. We notice one side is smooth and the other side is textured. Does it matter which side goes out? This is not your waterproof board. It's your other type.
Oh man, you hold on 1 second.
All right, appreciate it.
I gotta get somebody.
All right.
I have a gentleman just on the phone. I don't know about backer board. This is Pete. Hi, this is Pete with Triton. How can I help you?
Hey Pete, my name's Paul. We're installing some backer board. We've never used it before, but are looking forward to it. But I have a question. I noticed one side is absolutely smooth, but the other side is textured. Which side goes out?
That's a good question. We actually don't mark it because you are good to use either side.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, and we've actually tested in-house against like leading kind of cement boards out there. On either side of our board, the adhesion tested better than their recommended.
Cool.
So, yeah, a lot of people, if you're looking for a little bit more peace of mind, because that one of those sides, one side smooth, one side textured,
Right.
because that textured side does give you a little bit more surface area to work with.
Right.
A lot of people feel more comfortable using that side out.
Okay.
Just because it helps reduce the tile slippage and enhance the bonding because of that additional square footage.
Yeah.
Or surface area.
Yeah, it gives you some bite, right?
But it's by a very small margin.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, if you wanted to, in general, a lot of people use the rough side out for the walls, smooth side up for the floors, but you can use smooth side out either way, rough side out either way. People looking for a little bit additional peace of mind always just go rough side out though.
Nice.
So it's all U.S. patent. Everything that we
Sure.
did.
Sure.
So the entire system and process is all American,
Cool.
and we're carrying it over here in the U.S. now.
All right. Well, we may just switch to that totally, right?
We could.
Yeah. We sure appreciate your help, and it was so easy to get a hold of you guys for technical assistance. That's awesome.
But no, I appreciate you using it. I'll tell you what, sooner than later, we're going to have our waterproof backer board available over the standard backer that you're probably using.
Yep.
A lot of people are going to start leaning towards the waterproof backer board, really because we're actually going to go down on price with that, and while the other one's going up.
Right.
And it will be simply a product of how it's being manufactured here in the States now. We're
Okay.
just able to save more. Right. And we are the only cement board, just, sir, if Triton's new to you, we're the only cement board with a seam solution. So we marry the two worlds. And that cement board, you've already felt kind of the benefits immediately, about
Right.
half the weight
Of course.
of your typical cement board. And that's a product of the type of cement that it is. So most boards are going to be Portland based. Ours is actually magnesium based.
Magnesium
And with that,
based.
just tons of benefits. Yes, it is. It's people safe. You can cut that inside the home. I'm not sure if you had the chance to score and snap it yet, but you score and snap it so easily.
Well,
You
that's
don't need any kind of rotosol or.
Right. That's what we're about to do.
Well, okay, yeah. I hope I see our board on your channel when I look you guys up.
Absolutely. All right. Appreciate the help, man.
Okay, well, take care.
Okay. Y'all be safe. Cool. There was
Wow.
a little bit of a delay, like we're on a satellite
Yeah.
call or something. But how awesome is that? You called in what? 30 seconds? We
Well,
had somebody.
We were looking at YouTube videos and trying to do some research because we want to give everybody the correct information.
Right.
And I was like, let's just try and call him. I dialed and was on the phone with the receptionist in less than 20 seconds.
Yeah, I'm sitting there thinking,
There's
yeah,
no
you're
way.
not going to get anybody
Yeah,
on the phone.
right.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah,
All
good
right,
job.
let's go try out
Yeah,
the product.
so it doesn't matter.
Right.
All right. Now that we have full confidence that we're installing the product correctly, it's just a matter of measuring, cutting, and filling in this space with our Triton backer board.
No, you don't even need to do that. Just tip it up and snap it.
Really?
Yeah.
Check that out. How'd you learn that trick?
Because I watched like 20 install videos.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Check it out, 4 pieces in less than what, Jordan? That's 12 minutes, I think,
Easy.
right? Easy. This stuff is super easy to work with. And check it out over here. Remember we talked about this part right here? It's a plaster guard. And the idea is that when you put up the tile, this is going to flush out with your finished wall surface. So we measure all that ahead of time, and we're right where we want to be. And also the manufacturer of this Triton board, they want 1/8 inch spacing between sheets. So in true stud pack fashion, 1/8 inch spacers. 2 more pieces and we are ready for waterproofing. Let's do it. All right, backer board is done. We are moving forward with this project. I used 5 sheets. I have a few scraps, but that's fine. I'm going to hang on to them. We'll use them later. You can see up here we have 2 pieces, but the waterproofing is going to cover all that, and we're going to show you all the details of how we're going to waterproof this. So this is one of the situations where I went to the store. I was going to use a certain product I had in mind. They were out of it, and I was forced to switch to something new that I never heard about before. And that's how this industry works sometimes, right? But this stuff is fantastic. It cuts easy. There's no dust. You don't get all them little splinters in your hand from the cement board. And the screws could be simpler. What we do, top and bottom, 1 in the middle, and then 2 more in the middle of that. So it's very strong. And our next step is to put in the niche. Now we're going to switch gears a little bit, and we're going to switch companies. If MyTech has a niche, we would use it, but our store didn't have one, so we're going to go with a Schluter Niche. This one's 28 inches tall, and it's designed to fit between 16-inch framing. I'm going to flip it around for you. What we're going to do, we're going to get it plumb. We're going to trace around this flange, remove that piece of MyTech backer board, and stick this right in the wall. Let's get our level, get this thing mounted, and we're going to show you each step of the way. All right, our hole is all cut. Let's give this a test fit. Now I know I'm going to get some comments about removing the insulation, but I promise you this 1/2 inch foam board that the back is made of also probably has the same R value as this old junk we took out of there. So let's put this in here. Check it out. You know, this is the first time we ever used one of these. We've always custom made our own niches. This is pretty sweet. What a time saver that is. It's worth the $100 for this to me. All right, now we got to fasten it to the wall. So how are we going to do that? Schluter has these special screws and washers, and that washer is going to span this material and lock it all down together. All right, let me grab my drill and check out on the back of this washer, there are these 2 prongs. They'll go easily into the Schluter foam, but not so much into this. So I'm going to just put those prongs right in our seam, just like that, and I'm going to drive a screw in there. Nice. We'll do the whole perimeter, and then we're ready for waterproofing. So let's say we head outside and mix up our Thinset. All right, my favorite step, mixing Thinset. That means we're gaining on it, almost ready to set tile. Now we are going to cover that Triton board with Schluter Curdy waterproofing membrane, the whole thing. This is going to be our waterproofing system for that shower, and we're going to adhere this to the Triton board with Schluter All Set Thinset. Here's a bag of it right here. Now it's very important to read the instructions on any Thinset you buy. They're all different. This one's suitable for tile, and it's also suitable for the membrane I just showed you. But when you're using it to adhere membrane, you mix it a little bit thinner. In our case, we're going to add 8 quarts of water to this bag. We're going to mix it up, see how it feels. You ready, bud?
Let's do it.
All right. All right, while the Thinset is slaking, let's talk about backer board tape. We all know you're supposed to use this coated version if you're using cement board. And check it out. This stuff is self-adhesive on one side. You cover all your seams with it, just like that. Inside corners as well, and then you coat it with Thinset and let it dry. And again, if you're using cement board, now you're ready for tile. But we like to go with the additional step of putting a liquid membrane over everything. We actually have a video on that. We did it with Aqua Defense. It's a great product. But when I was at my mom's house, those tile setters were doing the exact same system we're doing. They put up Triton backer board with a Schluter curd, and then he had some white tape. But he turned it around and said, look, it actually says it's for backer board right there. And that's what they used. So what is the difference between the two? They're both fiberglass. One's coated, one is not. So if you're in the industry, if you have a techie answer for us, what's the difference, please let us know below in the comments. What do you think about this whole mesh tape thing, Jordan?
I think you're trying to mix two different systems. I think the mesh tape is made for liquid membrane. I think it's a completely different system than the Schluter system. Like if Schluter wanted you to use that, then they would have provided it, but they don't because they don't think you need it, and I don't think you need it either. I think there's no point in trying to mesh two systems with
If
mesh.
this was Curdy board, we don't need tape, we would use Curdy band. I don't think it's gonna matter in this particular application.
I don't think there's a point.
Yeah.
I think the Curdy's technologically advanced enough to where you just put the Curdy on and you're good to go.
So this is prehistoric,
Yeah.
Curdy's the future.
Throw it out the window.
All right. All right, the Thinset is done slaking. I heard our little 10-minute timer go off. Let's go remix it, bring it back in here, and start putting up some Curdy membrane. Feel good about it. All right, all our walls are done. Very easy. Now the key is the coverage of the Thinset. That's key in any tile situation, right? Whether it's the tile onto your backer board or your membrane onto our Triton. Now we're using a Schluter Curdy trowel. It's basically an 1/8 inch square notch. And these are free at the Schluter seminars. If you ever have a chance to go to one, check it out. The seminars are also free and they give you a ton of swag. Like I said, 2-inch overlap and we are ready. This thing is bulletproof. But before we waste this Thinset, I think we're going to use it to set our curbs. Now we bought a Schluter curb as well. They're 4 feet long. We needed 2 of them because of this corner shower. They're 6 inches tall from the factory, 4.5 inches wide. So we set one right here on the front, and nobody wants to step over the Great Wall of Schluter, right? And we don't need it 6 inches tall. If you had a bigger shower with a bigger pre-slope, you're gonna need the height. We don't. So what we're gonna do, we figured out that we wanted about 3.5 inches tall. How do we get to that number? Well, we know we're gonna have 3/4 of an inch here. When we set our drain, we figured that out. That's the minimum thickness of our pre-slope. And it's gonna slope up and away at 1/4 inch per foot. So let's just call that 1/2 inch. Right? We're gonna have 1/2 inch of slope from the outer rim of here to our longest dimension. 3/4 plus 1/2 inch, 1.25 inches. I want a couple inches of this sticking up above the pan, and we're gonna show you all this later in the next video. So we settled on a final height of 3.5 inches. So when we bring these out to the table saw, we're gonna rip them to 3.5, and we're even gonna miter the corners, and we're gonna use our Thinset, whatever Thinset we have left over, we're gonna dump it in here. Man, I am fired up. It's starting to look like a shower in here. Finally, huh? We got the walls done. Well, the waterproofing anyway. Our niche is in. We got the curb in. All that's left is the dry pack or the pre-slope, whatever you call it. A little bit of tile, trim, some glass panels. We're ready to take a shower. So in our next video, we're going to show you how to do the dry pack. That's what this is called, where the mud base slopes from the drain up so you get good drainage. We bought 2 bags of the mud pack. We're going to do that tomorrow, and we're going to show you a technique that we've never seen before on YouTube. We are super excited to show it to you, and it makes this thing so easy. So waterproof that like button for us, smash it when you're done, drop us a comment, ask a question, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you on our next video.